from the heart of Asia, a formidable force erupted, forever changing the course of history. The Mongols, a nomadic people born from the vast steppes, would rise from obscurity to forge an empire unlike any other. Their story is one of ambition, brutality, and an insatiable hunger for conquest. Yet it is also a tale of brilliant military strategy, cultural exchange, and unexpected connections across continents. Few could have predicted the impact these nomadic tribes would have on the world. They emerged from a land of harsh beauty, the Mongolian steppe, where survival was a testament to resilience. The unforgiving landscape, a tapestry of rolling grasslands, towering mountains, and arid deserts, shaped their destiny. Imagine a life untethered to a single place, a constant journey across the vast expanse of the Mongolian steppe. This was the reality for the Mongols, a nomadic people who called this unforgiving yet beautiful land their home. Their existence was a delicate dance with nature, a constant migration in pursuit of fresh pastures for their herds. Family units formed the bedrock of their society, bound together by unbreakable ties of loyalty and shared responsibility. Within these nomadic clans, every member played a vital role. Women, highly respected figures, managed the intricate workings of daily life. They erected and dismantled their portable homes, known as gurs, with remarkable efficiency. Their skilled hands crafted essential goods, from clothing and blankets woven from sheep's wool to dairy products that sustained their families. Men, on the other hand, were tasked with the crucial duty of protecting their kin and livestock from rival tribes and predators. This nomadic lifestyle, demanding both resilience and adaptability, forged within the Mongols an indomitable spirit. Children, from a tender age, learned to ride astride horses, becoming one with these magnificent creatures. The steppe was their training ground, honing their equestrian skills to a level unmatched by any other civilization. Their mastery of the horse, later a defining factor in their military conquests, was more than just a skill. It was an art form passed down through generations. This deep connection to their horses fostered a sense of freedom and self-reliance that permeated Mongol society. It allowed them to cover vast distances with astonishing speed, making them both elusive prey and formidable adversaries. Born into a world of swirling dust devils and thundering hooves, Temujin entered the harsh embrace of the Mongolian steppe. His name would one day echo across mountains and deserts, striking fear and awe into the hearts of men. His youth was as precarious as a lone ember in the wind. The weight of responsibility fell heavily upon Temujin's young shoulders. These early trials tempered Temujin's spirit like iron, forged in a fiery crucible. He learned the importance of loyalty, the necessity of cunning, and the value of unwavering determination. The Mongolian steppe, a vast expanse of sky and windswept grasslands, was a breeding ground for both freedom and conflict. Countless tribes, each with their own allegiances and rivalries, roamed the plains. Their existence was a delicate dance of shifting alliances, sudden betrayals, and bloody conflicts that erupted as quickly as summer thunderstorms. Temujin, now a young man hardened by hardship, understood that strength lay not in division but in unity. He dreamed of a day when the Mongols, bound together by a common purpose, would rise above their internal squabbles and unleash their collective might upon the world. His vision was audacious, his ambition boundless, but the path ahead was fraught with danger and uncertainty. His rise to power was a symphony of cunning diplomacy and ruthless military conquest. He forged alliances through strategic marriages, offering his own sisters as brides to secure the loyalty of powerful Khans. He rewarded loyalty with unwavering trust and showered his followers with the spoils of war, ensuring their unwavering dedication. Yet he did not hesitate to crush those who dared to oppose him, his wrath as swift and merciless as a falcon's dive. One by one, rival tribes fell before Temujin's growing power. Some were swayed by his charisma and the promise of a brighter future under his banner. Others, less willing, were forced to submit through sheer military might. His victories were not merely triumphs of brute force, but testaments to his strategic brilliance. He was a master of deception, luring his enemies into carefully laid traps and exploiting their weaknesses with ruthless efficiency. the year 1206 dawned bright over the Mongolian steppe, marking a pivotal moment in history. Temujin had achieved the unthinkable. He united the Mongol tribes under his rule. No longer was he simply Temujin. He was now Genghis Khan, the Great Khan. The title of Khan was a sacred trust. A shaman declared Genghis Khan the chosen one. This divine mandate fueled his ambition. With the Mongol tribes united, Genghis Khan turned his gaze outward. The steppes were now too small to contain his ambitions. He yearned for new conquests and new lands. His warriors awaited his command. His first target was the Shishir kingdom. The Mongols had endured raids and humiliations. Genghis Khan was determined to exact his revenge. The clash between the nomadic horsemen and the walled cities of China would reshape Eurasian history. The Mongol armies unleashed upon the world were a force unlike any seen before. Like a tempest from the heart of Asia, they swept across the steppes, leaving a trail of destruction and awe. Genghis Khan, a master tactician, embraced innovation and psychological warfare. The Mongol Empire, forged in blood and fire, rapidly expanded, uniting vast swathes of Asia. The winds of change carried tales of a rising power from the east. The Mongol hordes surged from the steppes, eyes fixed on Shishir. This wealthy kingdom, nestled amidst arid mountains and fertile valleys, had long enjoyed prosperity, but they had never faced a force like Genghis Khan. The Mongol conquest of Shishir was a brutal ballet of siege warfare. The Shishir believed their cities to be impregnable. They underestimated the Mongols' adaptability. Genghis Khan had learned much from his enemies. He deployed skilled engineers to construct siege towers and catapults. The Mongols laid siege to city after city, their assaults relentless. They diverted rivers, flooded plains, and launched wave after wave of attacks. Their archers rained down arrows while their engineers hammered at the gates. The Shishir fought bravely, their desperation growing. Their crossbowmen returned fire, but the Mongol tide seemed endless. Their cities were transformed into fiery infernos. Yet some Shishir cities refused to yield. Their resistance would sow the seeds of respect in the hearts of their conquerors. Conquering the Khwarezmian Empire, Genghis Khan turned westward to the Khwarezmian Empire, a wealthy realm on the Silk Road. Initially seeking diplomacy, he sent envoys with gifts. The Shah, arrogant and dismissive, executed a Mongol caravan. Enraged, Genghis Khan unleashed the Mongol war machine. The Khwarezmian Empire crumbled under the swift Mongol onslaught. Section 3 echoes of thunder on the Eastern Front, the fall of the Jin dynasty. While Genghis Khan led his armies to victory in the west, his generals were not idle on the Eastern Front. The Jin dynasty of northern China watched with growing apprehension as the Mongol Empire encroached upon their borders. They had faced the nomadic horsemen before, but they were ill-prepared for the storm that was about to break upon them. The Jin dynasty, weakened by internal strife and corruption, underestimated the Mongols' resolve. The Mongol generals adapted their tactics, laying siege to fortified cities and exploiting the Jin dynasty's internal divisions. The once mighty Jin dynasty, its foundations crumbling, was teetering on the brink of collapse. Section 4. Legacy carved in blood and stone. The Mongol Empire under Genghis Khan. By 1227, the year of Genghis Khan's death, the Mongol Empire spanned from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea. Forged by Genghis Khan's will and his warriors' prowess, it was an unprecedented empire. From shattered kingdoms, a new order arose, altering history forever. Genghis Khan was more than a conqueror. He was a visionary leader. He established a centralized system of governance and a codified legal system. He promoted trade and established a postal system, fostering cultural exchange. His legacy is complex, marked by both innovation and destruction. The death of Genghis Khan in 1227 cast a long shadow over his empire. A hush fell upon the steppes as messengers carried the news of his passing. The world held its breath, uncertain of the future. Would his empire crumble like so many before it? Or would his successors prove worthy heirs to his legacy? Genghis Khan had planned for his succession, dividing his empire amongst his sons. Ogadai, his third son, was chosen as the Great Khan. It was a daunting task, fraught with challenges. The Mongol Empire was a tapestry of conquered peoples and diverse cultures. Ogadai Khan proved to be a shrewd and capable ruler. He understood the key to preserving the empire lay in establishing a stable government. He continued his father's policies of religious tolerance. He invested in infrastructure, expanding the Yam network. Ogadai Khan surrounded himself with capable advisors. He recognized the nomadic Mongols lacked the experience to govern a vast empire. He appointed skilled administrators from conquered peoples. These men brought invaluable knowledge and experience to the Mongol Empire. The Mongol Empire, a vast realm of diverse cultures, presented unique challenges for its rulers. How does one govern a realm that stretches from Russia to Persia, encompassing many languages, religions, and traditions? The Mongols developed a decentralized system of governance. They divided their empire into khanates, each ruled by a descendant of Genghis Khan. This system, while efficient, also led to future fragmentation. The Mongols recruited skilled administrators from conquered subjects. The Yasa, a blend of Mongol law and decrees, emphasized loyalty and order. Though sometimes brutal, it provided consistency in governance. The Mongol conquests, swift and brutal as they were, ushered in an era of relative peace and stability across much of Eurasia. This period, known as the Pax Mongolica, witnessed an unprecedented flourishing of trade, cultural exchange, and intellectual pursuit. The Mongols, once feared as harbingers of destruction, became the unlikely architects of an interconnected world, their empire a vast network facilitating the flow of goods, ideas, and people across continents. The Silk Road, that ancient network of trade routes that had connected East and West for centuries, experienced a resurgence under Mongol rule. With the bandits and local warlords who had preyed upon merchants and travelers subdued, the Silk Road became safer and more prosperous than ever before. Caravans laden with silk, spices, porcelain and other luxury goods flowed from China to Europe, while merchants, diplomats and missionaries traversed the empire, sharing their knowledge and experiences. The Mongol Khans, recognizing the economic benefits of trade, actively encouraged its growth. They established a system of weights and measures, standardized currencies, and issued passports to merchants, facilitating their movement throughout the empire. They invested in infrastructure, building bridges, caravanserais, and irrigation canals, further stimulating economic activity. This newfound interconnectedness fostered a vibrant exchange of ideas and knowledge. Scholars, artists, and craftsmen from across Eurasia flocked to the Mongol court, eager to share their skills and learn from other cultures. Chinese astronomers introduced their knowledge of the heavens to Persian mathematicians, while Islamic scholars debated philosophy with Buddhist monks. The Mongol Empire, a melting pot of cultures and traditions, became a crucible for intellectual and artistic innovation. The Mongol Empire, a vast dominion forged from conquest, unintentionally became the unlikely architect of an interconnected world. Under their rule, the ancient Silk Road, a network of trade routes that snaked across deserts and mountains, experienced a golden age, pulsating with renewed vigor. The Mongols, pragmatists seeking to consolidate their power, recognized the economic lifeblood that flowed through these arteries of commerce. With the fierce Mongol armies ensuring peace and order, the Silk Road transformed into a vibrant tapestry of human interaction. Merchants, once burdened by the constant threat of bandits and extortionate tolls, now traversed vast distances with relative security. Their caravans, laden with exotic goods from the far corners of the empire, became rolling emblems of the interconnectedness that defined this era. From the fabled cities of China flowed exquisite silks, delicately crafted porcelain and potent spices that ignited the palates of the West. In return, the caravans lumbered back eastward, bearing Persian carpets woven with intricate designs, glistening jewels from India, and finely crafted glassware from the workshops of Venice. This exchange of goods, facilitated by the Pax Mongolica, brought immense wealth to the empire's coffers and fueled a period of economic prosperity that touched even the most distant corners of the Mongol domain. The Mongols, eager to foster this burgeoning trade, implemented policies that further stimulated its growth. Recognizing that a standardized system would benefit merchants from all lands, they introduced a unified system of weights and measures, ensuring fairness and transparency in transactions. The introduction of paper currency, backed by the might of the Mongol Empire, simplified trade and facilitated larger, more complex commercial ventures. The Mongol Empire, a tapestry woven from countless threads of conquered cultures, became an unexpected crucible of cultural exchange. As merchants, diplomats, missionaries and travelers traversed the length and breadth of the empire, they carried with them not only goods but also ideas, languages and artistic traditions. This vibrant fusion of cultures left an indelible mark on the societies that came under Mongol sway, transforming them in ways both subtle and profound. One of the most enduring legacies of Mongol rule was the spread of new technologies and scientific knowledge. The Mongols, eager to consolidate their power, actively sought out skilled artisans, engineers and scholars from across their vast domains. Chinese gunpowder experts found themselves sharing their knowledge with Persian metallurgists, while Islamic astronomers exchanged ideas with their counterparts in the Mongol court. This cross-pollination of ideas led to remarkable advancements in various fields. The introduction of Chinese printing techniques revolutionized the dissemination of knowledge in the Islamic world, paving the way for a flourishing of scholarship and literary production. Similarly, the adoption of Arabic numerals and mathematical concepts in Europe, facilitated by their transmission through Mongol-controlled trade routes, laid the groundwork for the scientific revolution that would transform the West. The Mongol court, once a nomadic encampment on the steppes, transformed into a cosmopolitan center of learning and artistic patronage. Under the rule of enlightened Khans like Kublai Khan, the Mongol elite developed a taste for the finer things in life, patronizing artisans, musicians and storytellers from diverse cultural backgrounds. This patronage led to a flowering of artistic expression as Persian miniature painting blended with Chinese landscape painting, and Islamic calligraphy found new expression in the decoration of Mongol palaces. The Mongol Empire, like all empires, eventually succumbed to the weight of its own vastness and internal divisions. Yet its impact on world history remains undeniable, etched in the cultural, political and economic landscapes of Eurasia. The Mongols, once feared as destroyers, ironically connected the world, facilitating the exchange of ideas, technologies and goods. Their conquests shattered old empires, paving the way for new states and dynasties. The Mongol legacy extends beyond political boundaries, leaving its mark on the cultural and social fabric of Eurasia. Even the mightiest of empires, like sandcastles on the shore, eventually succumb to the relentless tides of time. The Mongol Empire, for all its might and grandeur, was not immune to this universal truth. Internal strife, fueled by the ambitions of rival Khans, gradually fractured the unity that Genghis Khan had so painstakingly forged. The once cohesive realm, stretching from the Pacific to Eastern Europe, fragmented into smaller, weaker khanates, each vying for dominance. By the mid-14th century, the Mongol Empire lay in ruins, its once formidable power dissipated. The descendants of Genghis Khan, who had inherited his ambition but not always his genius, turned their swords upon each other, their internecine conflicts weakening the empire from within. The conquered peoples, who had chafed under Mongol rule, seized the opportunity to rebel, their uprisings further eroding the foundations of Mongol power. The fall of the Mongol Empire was as swift and dramatic as its rise, a testament to the ephemeral nature of power. But even as the empire crumbled, its legacy continued to reverberate across Eurasia. The Mongols, though often remembered for their brutality, had left an indelible mark on the world, reshaping political boundaries, transforming trade routes, and fostering cultural exchange on an unprecedented scale. Just as the desert winds reshaped the dunes, leaving behind new patterns and formations, so too did the Mongols leave their imprint on the world. The empires and dynasties that rose from the ashes of Mongol rule inherited a world forever changed by their presence, a world more interconnected, more diverse, and more aware of its own vast potential. The echoes of the Mongol thundering hooves, though fainter now, continued to resonate through the corridors of history, a reminder of the transformative power of even the most ephemeral of empires. Centuries after the last Mongol Khan faded into history, Genghis Khan's legacy looms large. Revered in the East as a unifier, feared in the West as a conqueror, his story, a blend of myth and reality, reflects the complexities of his time. For too long, the history of the Mongols has been shrouded in myth and misconception. Their story told through the lens of their enemies or romanticized in tales of nomadic warriors. It is time to move beyond the simplistic narratives of barbarity and conquest, to delve deeper into the rich and complex tapestry of Mongol history. The Mongols were more than just skilled warriors. They were astute diplomats, shrewd administrators, and pragmatic rulers who understood the importance of cultural exchange and economic integration. To understand the Mongols is to understand a pivotal chapter in human history.